Hey guys, welcome back to another Shoutcast. I have to be a little bit quiet for this Shoutcast, but I want to make a quick preface. Thank you guys all for the feedback and for watching the last few Shoutcasts. It means a lot to me and makes me more excited to do future ones. Keep the feedback going. So if at certain parts I can't get super hyped up or really loud in this Shoutcast, I apologize. But hopefully you guys keep on watching. Thank you all for watching and giving feedback. So let's jump into this Shoutcast, shall we? So we are going to Watchpoint Gibraltar. This is one of the most used maps and exciting maps, and this is a match between the two European powerhouses, Rogue and Misfits. Misfits generally more dominant on control point and King of the Hill maps, and Rogue, kind of just good at, a large variety, but also very good on these maps as well. And Rogue always pulls out interesting strategies. d.va has been playing a lot of Hanzo this tournament, and very interesting picks. Rogue just always has interesting dynamic strategies, and when you have a strong team and strong players to back that up, then you can get very interesting dynamics in matches as well. So going into this, they're staying by the server room. They won't do anything risky. Hidan went out as a Bastion early, just in case there was a Reinhardt push up on the far end. He just wanted to damage the shield in any case. So trying to do that. Nevix is looking around. He finds d.va, but he's not going to be able to kill him. There's an Ana giving line of sight. Unco's well positioned. So it's going to be really hard for Misfits to push up. So they're just trying to get around as best they can and setting things up. So Rib is a really good substitute player. He one of the best ones since I've seen in recent tournaments, doing a lot of work. And Crew, or Cry, I believe I'll call him, the Zarya from Misfits, gets picked off at the beginning of the fight, and that's going to delay the push. And right now, no ultimates are really getting built up very quickly. People are just harassing at shields. They're trying to find how they want to engage. And so the payload right now is under the bridge, just at that point. And right now Misfits are going to try and go for a good team fight and just force them on the side. Nevix is coming on the side. He's jumping. He's harassing. He's trying to take down AKM. AKM is in. Oh my goodness, unbelievably, Nevix is not able to kill AKM. AKM was isolated away from his healers, and right now Rogue is going to win the team fight. It's just an unfortunate series of events. Misfits wasn't able to pick off AKM, and then they couldn't snowball the fight thereafter, and it slowly just fell apart. And it was really close. I could have definitely swapped to Misfits' favor if that pick had gone off, but very unfortunate, and it was really close by Nevix going into that. And right now, AKM, very good McCree player, staying back. He's trying to get any pick he can. Oh, Cry takes a lot of damage, and even though he does stack up on some energy, he's not very close to ultimate charge. Wins is very far ahead, and Rogue just has a good ultimate advantage. It's going to be really hard for Misfits to come back, unless, of course, they get a good Genji ult. But Genji gets picked off on the side, and that's just Nevix going down. It's really tough engages. But right now, the Ana ult goes off. AKM has to go back and get the health pack, and just right now, so far, it seems like Rogue is holding the server room very well, and we have Graviton go off by wins, but Hidan on the side manages a headshot AKM with his right click and take him down, and quickly the match is going the other way. Hidan has good ultimate. Misfits pulls an amazing start to that fight. Hidan did so well. d.va is the only one surviving. Rib and Cry. I'm just gonna have to call him Cry, man. I'm struggling with this name, but very great turn by Misfits. Amazing turn. That pick on AKM by Hidan was really well. Even though Rogue had advantage in server room by the health pack, they just managed to turn it around. So good job on them. Right now we're having kind of a scrappy fights going on here, but it seems like Misfits is a little bit of ahead. AKM does manage to pick off soon on the backside as he was trying to escape, and he probably will get picked up by Nevix right here. And d.va does the swap off of Mei. Mei is kind of hard to do in the hair hanger phase because there's just so many different entrances that the wall is just not as efficient, and so he's going on the Genji, trying to stack his ultimate really quickly, try and get on Hidan and get on Zubasai. And believe it or not, Hidan already has his ultimate ready again. Hidan is doing so much work this game, and he's going to go on, try and keep his team alive on the engage. But good bio grenade by Unco, but they're not able to finish it off, and Soon gets two. But AKM manages to take out Soon from the high ground, but will he be able to finish it off? He gets a good ultimate, takes down Hidan, takes down Nevix. AKM going to work. He's trying to hold this point as best he can as the last man standing. He's probably going to get taken down by Rib, but he's not. Actually, Rib decides to disengage and keep pushing. Unco is there to heal up AKM. So man, that hold by ACAM, incredible. ACAM is definitely holding, doing really well this game for Rogue, just doing so much damage. He managed to hold the point for them 100% there, and so Misfits now have to regather and decide what they need to do. They need to really force, and ACAM gets two headshots on a Vix to cancel the push, almost kills Soon as well, forces the rewind, and once again, this push is going to get stopped. ACAM is just doing too much work, and Misfits needs to have an answer for him. Just definitely ACAM making a statement here as a player and saying, hey, you are not getting past this hanger, whatever you do. So Misfits, I'm curious if they do any lineup changes. Yes, Cry does go to Reaper. He's a lot of flanking potential there. He can get the high ground. He can do a lot of damage. Since there is no Zarya on Rogue's team, he can do a lot of damage to this Winston and this Reinhardt. And hopefully it just goes well in their favor, even though there is an Ana. ACAM, they are rushing him. Navix is on him with his ultimate. They managed to take ACAM as the first target. And Tavik, as I said, it went for Hidan and took him out on the backside as well. And Uncle gets a cheeky shot and kills Navix. But right now, Rib is on the backline. He managed to take out the support on Unco, and he's going aggressive. And right now, Tavik is still alive and doing a ton of damage. And Soon is trying to be aggressive there too. ACAM pulls out his ultimate and see if he gets any pick. Cry is trying to hide behind the payload, and they're getting very close to securing this point. And right now, good ultimate by Crew. Hidan is there with him. Soon manages to take out another, and only it seems like Reinforce is there, but he still managed to get the point. So nice defense attempt, really good defense overall in the hangar, but Misfits had a really good like recovery fight at the end there. And Crew, and some reason we saw the center of the world there, a very strange interaction. And right now Misfits is trying to push on the uphill section of the last point, and Tavik gets headshotted by Hidan. Very unfortunate. And right now Misfits is taking advantage of that pick, and they're going to go aggressive and force Rogue into the server point. And now they are no longer on the high ground section. They actually got in a better section, and this is going to be really great for them. Crew is on the high ground, AKM playing up with Ana ulti and going into that. So let's see, Misfits going in with a Genji ultimate, manages to take out Uncle on the first side, blocks the flashbang, takes out AKM. Even though Navix dies, this is a huge advantage for Misfits. Soon takes out Wins as he tries to leap up, and right now just they're going to be able to, and Nox has to blow his ultimate early, and that's just a super disadvantageous position now for Rogue. They're going to be on the back foot here, and Wins already swapping to d.va. I think they're just trying to do a time save here and see how well they can do and just give themselves as much time as possible. And Cry right now getting some kills, and so is Soon, and even Reinforce, he went May. They're just changing all their characters to delay time characters, and they're just getting on the point. AKM is still trying to do damage. Manages to take down Soon, but you know, they're all just trickling in. It's going to be so hard to hold this point, and Misfits are probably going to secure the point right about now. So really good push by Misfits on the last end there. That initial pick off of Tavik by Hidan just let them have a good snowball and get past the high ground and just force Rogue into a choke. So really good job by them overall. So now Rogue is going to have to, they have a lot of free room, in my opinion, going into this. They have a pretty good time. Gibraltar isn't the hardest mode on attack. It is a pretty decently long map in length for a payload map, but they are a team that's very capable of doing it. So they have a lot of free room, and it is time bank, so we are going to see Misfits have another run. But as we saw, Misfits were really struggling with the hanger on defense, on attack, and also a little bit on the initial part on server room. They didn't really get the pushes that they wanted. So Misfits needs to put off an incredible defense if they want to pull this off. And here we go. We're seeing Rogue and Misfits setting up. We are seeing Soon play Reaper with Ana, a really strong combo. And they're doing Ana on defense for the line of sight, and even though, and which is, you know, kind of interesting because Hidan is a really good Zenyatta player, but you know, he is flexible and can do that Ana as well. They're going to be bringing it out, so you'll see either Ana Winston or Ana Reaper going in and doing a lot of damage. And here we go, Tavik on the Hanzo. If he doesn't swap off of it, I'm really excited to see him because he has been pulling out quite the efficient Hanzo overall throughout this tournament. So pretty excited to see it. Nivix on the Mei. Mei is pretty decent on the first point, especially near the server room. And if we're noticing Misfits, they're not going too far. They're only holding near server room or fall back to server room. So making it go in their favor. Reinforce on his, very famous Reinhardt, and they're going to get ready. Tavik is playing up, trying to get vision, and also any pick he can, try to see where they are. And he sees them. He knows where they are now, and he's shooting up. He knows that they have an Ana now, and they're not running Zenyatta. That's important to know because Misfits does run Zenyatta quite frequently in their teams. And he's trying to see if he can get Unko, not Unko, Hidan on the side. So pushing up, playing aggressive. He gets hit by an icicle. He has to be careful not to get headshotted now. And he's looking around, trying to get vision. He knows that they've fall back into the server, and they are trying to do as much damage as possible. And right now, can he do it? Nope. He tried to see if he could get a shot on Navix. He's doing some damage in the scatter arrow. AKM manages to pick off Navix, but right now, Soon and Cry take out both the tanks, and it's going to be really hard now for Rogue to push up without their tanks. And Hidan snipes out Nox, and Cry is on Unko, so only Tavik is the surviving member. He's being chased down by Rib. Rib is going to pull back. He doesn't want to go too far forward, and he put himself in a bad position, but really good hold by Misfits on that first point there. Managed to burst out the tanks, even though they're up against an Ana comp, so really well done by them. Since the camera angle didn't show it, I wasn't sure if Hidan had a good bio grenade to deny healing, but we'll see. Unko now has ultimate. He probably will buff AKM, and so does Hidan. So there we go. AKM gets the on ultimate going in, even though there's a Mei ultimate, which is so good, well placed. That was so beautiful by Nivix. Perfect on ultimate, froze AKM, stopped in their place. Cry went in, did a ton of damage, got a triple kill, and really, even though Cry and Soon got a lot of those kills, it was Nivix well-placed wall and well-placed Mei ultimate that completely stopped the engage on Rogue. So, but going into this next fight, we'll see, actually probably in Misfits' favor. They do have the Zarya ult, they do have the Reaper ult, and their ultimates are just going to combo earlier. Wins is going to be an ultimate behind, so Misfits probably want to engage this fight a lot earlier than the others. And here we go, Soon gets a double kill starting out. Maybe they don't need to use Cry's ultimate. They are already winning the fight. This is something they don't need to swap off of. Reinforce manages to take off Soon, but it doesn't really matter. This fight is in huge favor, and because of that early pick, Misfits actually come out on a bigger advantage. They only needed to pop Reaper ult. They could save their ult. I was incorrect in saying Cry could use his ult earlier before it. He can now save it as a counter ultimate against Wins, or also as another engage. So this is going to be a delay time, and this is actually very worrisome for Rogue. Initially they had a lot of time to play off of because they delayed Misfits to one last minute, but there we go. Cry now going off, and there we go. He did the wall as well, Cry did, but Tavik and Wins did the combo, the Hanzo, and no Mei wall can stop that. So really good combination. Unko manages to get a double kill, and Unko is very surprising because you see a lot of Ana players just focus on healing, but Unko just knows when to swap to a DPS player. She does 80 damage a shot, which is one of the highest in the game, and doing a ton of work. And Tavik also got so many kills off his ultimate, managed to get good picks. I'm really liking this Hanzo, to be honest. Hopefully he just gets more consistent. He was pulling it out near the end half there, but here we go. They're moving up, ready to play it out. And Wins surprisingly goes Tracer. Very interesting. Wins generally we see Azaria or Winston, and not really a DPS player. And running 3 DPS on this point is kind of unheard of, especially against the lineup that Misfits have. Hopefully, I would love to see how it works out. And once again, he has Hanzo ultimate, shoots it into the hangar, manages to pick up Hidan, and also on the side, Zebosai gets taken down, and this is going hugely in the favor of Rogue. Rogue is turning on, Wins, AKM, and Tavik just did so much damage there. Great ultimate by Tavik. He saw that they were engaging from the plane. I don't think they expected him to have ultimate that back up quickly after the last fight, but there we go, and they're going to get the second point. They just breezed through hangar, so fantastic job done by Rogue. Into the hangar phase, quite the opposite of Misfits, and so now they're turning a 360, so it's really going to be up to Misfits to hold the high ground thing. high ground thing. That's a horrible vocabulary. Sorry about that. And he's going to hold the high ground position on the last point. And wins right now, playing aggressive. Almost gets taken down by the fire strike, but he rewinds just in time. So now Unko has his ultimate. He's probably going to ult. Oh my goodness, he managed to get taken out by Soon because he ulted him and Soon played up. He got a lot of kills. And it looks like this is going to go in favor of Misfits. And Rogue is probably going to have to regroup. AKM is playing back to spawn. He purposely is not going to heal himself. He wanted his healers to get ult charge in any way possible. And Unko is probably going to buff AKM as he goes in. And then they'll just do a ton of damage. And there we go. He goes in with ultimate. He takes down Hidan. But he doesn't manage to get the Lucio, who sped himself out. But you know what? He has a backup wins to get it. And this fight actually became a lot closer. On the Rogue's backline managed to get shredded there, but you know, AKM and Wins are just so far ahead in this fight, and since there's no healers on Misfits, the payload is going to get a little bit closer. So Wins manages to miss his ultimate. Rib is playing up, shielding for his team, and he's playing Reinhardt, something I don't often see him. I see him quite often on the Winston, so this is kind of a surprising pick coming from him. And we see an ultimate come from Cry, and doesn't manage to get a lot from that, but AKM gets picked off on the side by Zepasai, which is kind of surprising, and Wins right now is just forcing so many people back. He's forcing the Zarya to look back, and the supports as well, so Misfits are a little split, and if they can capitalize, but Tavik gets picked off, and I didn't even notice that Tavik swapped to Genji, and he's already generated so much ultimate. So they are going to try and combo ultimate and just run off with their DPS, and Unko already has ultimate ready again to combo with AKM. And Navix is also on Genji. It's just the Genji picks are coming out now, trying to have really strong team fights, and we see Soon waiting with his ultimate, trying to get the flank. And this is really dangerous for Rogue now, because if they get caught out by this flank, they're going to die. But Tavik knows where he is. He has the Zarya shield. Soon gets the ultimate, manages to take out Tavik, but he's so low health, and it's going to be hard for them to capitalize on this fight. Rogue might have a chance to come back, because Reinforce was put to sleep, and they're going to take him out. So really good play by Soon, even though like he was so close to death. Like Rogue almost had it, but he still managed to pull it out going into that, and Wins goes down as well. So this is actually really dangerous for Rogue. They do not have a lot of time going into this, but Tavik manages to take out 2. He gets a triple kill going into this with his ult, and he manages to recover the point. That was a 3 versus 5. Rogue having a fantastic team fight on a 3 versus 5. Tavik closes out the game for him. And if people have never watched my Shoutcast before or anything I've said, I am a massive Tavik fan. I have been for some time, even when he was playing under the account name Pluppy. Fantastic player. So good on him. Closed out that match very well. And now the pressure is like kind of on both teams now. The times are very close. They have to play very carefully. And it's going to be really interesting to see how it comes out. But since it is time bank mode, you can see overtime till the end of the match. Those are really exciting. I've had those a couple of times in competitive ranked as well. Gibraltar is kind of a map like that where you can snowball off of the payload, and you can sometimes complete the whole map again in like under a minute. So getting ready to go into this. Rogue will be going first because they have less time and getting ready to do it. Misfits is kind of going with the same composition they had last time. I think they were really happy with their first hold for a while. I think if they have the same first hold, they'll do really well, and they just need to be careful on their hanger part because they really struggled with the hanger, and that was something that came back to bite them several times near the end because they had some pretty good fights on the last point, but since they didn't make Rogue lose any time, it just never could capitalize. But Tavik this time going on the Tracer this time, and there is no Genji, so I'm kind of curious to see how this plays out. I know he wants to get back, find Hidan, and take him out. Not doing Hanzo. I like that actually. Hanzo was a little bit slower pace and was just hoping to get a good headshot or good shots going, but now Tavik just harassing, trying to find out where people are. He's already found Hidan. He's going to try and take him out. Hidan in so much danger. Tavik just so well on like closing in on people. Takes down Hidan. And also both supports are down. Wins gets the Lucio. And Wins is right now playing up and getting Cry. So right now Tavik and Wins are doing so much damage going into this. and Nivix goes down as well. So wow, Rogue really dominating that fight. Tavik playing up, trying to deny people coming out from spawn. But oh wow, it looked like Hidan put Tavik to sleep, but didn't do the one-shot combo on a tracer, which seems like a minor play. Maybe I saw that wrong and he was just hiding behind something. But Unko has his ultimate. He's ready to start this next fight. Wins is playing up front. Tavik gets a kill on Hidan again. That is massive. Unko, with the help of ACAM, takes out Zebasai. Zebasai seemed to be a little out of position there, and Tavik takes out Soon, and Cry accidentally kills himself. So another team wipe, and this is actually huge favor Rogue, because not only did they do better in Hanger phase, but they have a huge ultimate advantage. Almost everyone on their team has ultimates, and only Hidan has the ultimates because he is Ana. So right now, this is actually like completely going the opposite favor. ACAM is ready to do the flank. He goes in with the Ana ultimate, and the flank gets a triple kill on the high ground. Gonna kill Rib most likely, and Nivix takes down Nivix, gets the quad, gets the 5-man, and is he gonna get the 6-man? Well, Nox manages to take it from him, but incredible flank, good on them. The pressure is so high on Misfits, they need to force a fight, they need to do something, and they panicked on running. They didn't expect ACAM to do the flank, and it greatly punished them for that. So right now Rogue is on fire. They are actually have a chance to finish it, and believe it or not, Unko and ACAM were the only ones who used their ultimate. ACAM already at 60%, and we all know Ana can generate really fast, so Rogue has a great team fight set up for them, and Misfits might have their ultimates, but oh my goodness, amazing Graviton, great grenade, takes down both of the supports. Tavik is going to work. Oh, and Reinforce with the good ultimate takes down 2, and Tavik doing so much damage, and Navix almost headshotted Tavik, but once again, the fight, they're going to get more distance. All they need to do is just get as far as they can, because Misfits doesn't have a lot of time to work with, and they're going to try and see if they can harass them at the choke. We're seeing a tracer come out from Soon, and just desperation play, it feels like, just to the maximum amount. And ACAM does have ultimate. He's going to save it, probably use it as soon as he gets out. And no, he actually is still deciding to hold it. Is he waiting till Unko has ultimate? But he dies. So I feel like that was a technical mistake. I think he was waiting for Unko to have ultimate. He never used his ult. And it looks like Misfits is going to recover from this fight. And there we go. They didn't complete the map, but it was so close. I think at the end there, Rogue might have lost that fight overall, but I was hoping that ACAM would just pop his ultimate and not wait on Unko and just see if he could get 1 or 2 picks, and then probably just buff him with the Unko ultimate thereafter and just snowball from there. I felt like he was waiting for something. He had ultimate for a good duration of that fight. He just was never using it. So maybe it was a communication error. Maybe it was an expectation. Maybe they're like, yeah, let's wait. You can stay alive long enough for Unko. So, but overall, Rogue playing this fantastically. And the pressure is definitely on Misfits right now. So the reigning LAN champions in Rogue definitely showing why they're are the champions. So going into this, they need to just maintain the composure for Misfits to stand a chance. They need to just maintain composure and kind of snowball the victory if they can. So I'm kind of curious if Misfits will pull out any interesting strategies going into it. Rib is playing Reinhardt a lot now, not his standard Winston, which is kind of a shame because his Reinhardt is very good, but his Winston, every time I see it, it's phenomenal. So kind of curious to see how they play this out, but let's see if there's Rogue on the defense, kind of going the same standard comp that Misfits was going. May on the first point with a Reaper, and this is definitely going to go in their favor. So they're looking around, trying to get some picks, and Vix also doing so. We're going to see a double May on attack and defense going into this. They're trying to pick off Tavik if they can, try and do some damage. And it's going to come down to this team fight, the way Misfits plays it. So they seem like they're going in as a ball on the bottom side, but already it seems like one of the characters is asleep. It looked like it was Hadan. Great wall off by Tavik. He walled off the other May, so Navix didn't have like an amazing wall, and Rib is already dead to wins. That's just already a disadvantageous. So Navik, it already looks like Misfits is on the back foot in this fight. Zebasai gets taken down. Cry gets taken down, Nivix gets taken down, and this is already looking definitely not in the favor of Misfits. And I'm kind of curious to see if Rogue is going to play up and deny, because since Misfits didn't really die together, they won't have a really great team fight, even though Hedon and Soon already have their ultimates. Unco and a lot of Rogue are not far behind in their ultimates, and they're probably the next team fight is definitely going to be in Rogue's favor, and this is a situation that Misfits did not want. So this is most likely going to be the crucial team fight for Misfits if they want a chance to win this. He's going to probably, and here we go, AKM gets a quad going into it, and Soon also gets a double. At both the Honor Reaper ult, which just seemed better timed, and also the positioning of the high ground definitely put it in Rogue's favor. And wow, that was just amazing. It wasn't even a comeback. Amazing play by Rogue overall. Congratulations to them. The way they played it out near the end there was fantastic, and Rogue just being the champions that they are, and Misfits, still fantastic game for them. But man, that was a very exciting match overall. So thank you guys for watching this Shoutcast. I hope you guys had fun listening in, and hopefully you are all enjoying the Overwatch Open matches. So until then, thank you guys for watching.